As I have been promised to you guys, oh my guys, good job. I mean, girl stuff, thank you, barang. Nagkakatakumas. Entire. I have been telling you guys, I got this book from my grandfather's, which is below my dad. And I think when I checked this book, it is actually came from 1976. See that? And this book deserves to be in the museums, but lama gila. And I'm kind of sad because no one ever read it, and I think this is like macam kita orang yang kecil-kecil dulu contoh-contoh, but this part is not me, okay, the one that I showed yesterday. So tajuk for this book is Atlast of the Body. I know, memang boring, it is boring, exactly, sangat boring, but trust me, benda ni macam people created like conspiracy and stuff, which they kind of believe this. I mean, we as a human mankind came from an apes and stuff. Like, how could they think about it? Okay, because no, you know what? Just go through it. Let's start with first thing. So this author's book, I came to see. So Bakuni, of course, there's a lot of acknowledgement, and one of it is Philip Rhodes. He's a dean of faculty of medicine in University of Adelaide. I don't know if he's the one who wrote this, but banyak je lagi orang yang datang ke konspirasi ni, which they kind of believe this to happen, and it's not one of, dia bukan dia seorang lah, memang ramai lagi yang buat this kind of story and edit it. Some kind of research juga. I believe this is actually a research they make, especially the archaeologists, because as stated in this book, how can they find this thing is actually come from the archaeologists. Kind of interesting, I rasa lah. So let's go to the first. Oh my god, I memang tak okay sekarang set up camera semua. It's gonna be okay if it's like a little bit like this. That's good. That I like about this book is actually how they could think, macam boleh fikir benda ni macam tak masuk akal, because kita fikir manusia, okay, we as Muslim believe that we made from the soil itself, as been stated in the Quran and Sunnah, and then our first family branch trace is Prophet Adam. Okay, that is as for Muslim, but how about this kind of scientists, I don't know, who think that human ni datang daripada mana kan, if diorang ada different kind of thoughts semua. So this how they think, which is kita adalah berasal daripada primates ataupun burung, species burung. It doesn't make sense, but dalam ni is like complete cerita daripada tulang sampai ke jantung, ke otak, the whole cell functioning, and it's more like biology system happening in your body. So I won't go through details about it sebab dah macam biology, like terlampau details. I don't even need to read this. I bukan belajar ni untuk exam sebab banyak gila. I'm just gonna tell you how the ideas, how they think, just like that, the conspiracy, because it's kind of interesting. And yes, I won't go to this serious. It has like a DNA and stuff, which I won't go through. Never. I'm done with bio. I will tell you since at the first chapter, and I also need to read it from here because it's a lot of things to refer in the terms, because it's more just scientific, more than just like the ideas itself. It's more to relating on science juga lah. So the first thing is idea dorang kind of like make sense sebab diorang percaya that of course benda ni is really make sense even if you learn biology, that human is actually a vertebrates punya species, and this kind of relate like macam diorang percaya vertebrates is like amphibian species, contohnya macam ikan, and then they will develop into primitive legs. So that kind of ideas diorang start thinking until that branch dulu. So daripada sini diorang fikir related to animals. So human actually ada kaitan dengan animals juga. So that's how they get the ideas. So kind of interest juga lah. Kita memang ada kaitan dengan haiwan, and paling what is that mean, macam related is dengan buruk sebab memang sama backbone diorang, and just like us is the same. There's nothing much difference, but of course lah, human is bigger size than there could be a difference in the number of the backbone and stuff. So I won't go to that details. Evolution of human mankind is the key of evolution is actually the concept of adaptation. So benda ni quite interesting. So they believe that this kind of concept of adaptation is actually a process which over many generations, animals and plants will modify themselves to take advantage of the environment so manage to survive. So that's kind of evolution. Sebab it's like how these small animals started to develop and developing. So diorang generated evolution lah, keep changing because of human and because of environment, climate change and stuff. So daripada situ lah diorang start to develop and cause to be evolutions. Kind of like dia punya principle jugalah. This is principle, I'm sorry. You guys don't need to know that. Diorang dah tahu kita mungkin ada kaitan dengan haiwan. And certainly, of course, mammals lah. Bukan reptiles ke, bukan insect, okay? Of course, could be mammals, but human is kind of itself known mammals. So man is a mammal, is been stated in here. So diorang cari saintis-saintis yang ada dekat dunia ni dulu, diorang cuba cari tahu macam apa haiwan yang paling related to human in sense of dia punya intelligence, dia punya adaptations and how the parental care going on. I'm sorry. So daripada situ diorang jumpa the most likely kind of like human mankind is actually primates. So I don't know what's going on with my voice. So back to the story. So diorang jumpa antara banyak-banyak haiwan, primates yang paling likely behave macam human. So daripada situ diorang keep going on research on these mammals. Like, is there any potentially macam daripada segi diorang jaga diri and jaga diorang punya like what is that, infants, maksudnya baby primates, beruk tu lah maksudnya. And they kind of see yes, diorang percaya yang primates is a subgroup of the mammals to which man are belongs. So daripada situ diorang macam okay, kita chop haiwan yang paling kita nampak dia punya reaksi dia sama macam human. So daripada situ actually diorang start belajar daripada situlah. Haiwan yang lama juga, even pada masa lampau diorang dah exist daripada kita. So dia juga macam keep on track daripada sistem diorang, berapa lama diorang berhidup. Actually kind of same like human as well. And tapi diorang ni cuma beza dia, diorang wujud lama daripada kita. That's what they believe, which is they thought the first primate appeared about 63 years ago. I'm sorry, 65 million years ago. Starting from the man evolutions, they has like a timeline how this primate came out to develop as human mankind. So this kind of like a very interesting punya part. Sebab kat sini diorang ada timeline. If I will show you guys in here, when I'm making a video, show this slightly from even akan compare daripada segi tengkorak juga atau sizing until adapting to become human from the primates, which is quite years ago until 35 million years ago. So dalam tempoh tu dia akan developing become human dalam masa dulu macam tu. So so dekat sini dia kata ada different groups of primate were evolving until one gave rise to the primitive stock, from which the apes are dua jenis, pongets and hominids. You guys don't need to know about it, it's kind of confusing. I'm just gonna explaining the just like slightly juga tak payah tahu. So tu just like dia punya kind of like period dia jugalah. This is what I'm talking about. I can't show you, like I don't know how to show it. It's some kind of like this. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I can't talk like this. Oh my god. So dia percaya first tengkorak daripada primates is called as Hermapithecus. There's a lot of terms, so I'm just gonna simplify it. Ini ialah berlaku since the first one 25 years ago. So tengkorak dia macam really looks like an ape. If you guys can see, where can I do this? Okay, you guys see that? It's kind of seen, memang nampak macam sangat-sangat rupa macam. Oh yes, you guys can see it now. Yes, rupa dia sangatlah macam beruk. And then it started to develop it until it became along this way to become like a human kind of man. Human punya tengkorak. So this is a long period yang diorang ada, starting from, as I said just now, 25 years ago until 30 years ago later. So time ni lah berlakunya peredaran perubahan in terms of from primates to human. Kind of like lama juga lah. I don't know how the ideas they think about this macam boleh tercetusnya pemikiran orang lama ni benda tu adapted to become human mankind. I pun doesn't make sense juga lah actually, but then maybe it was been proven by the archaeologists found that masa tengkorak tu lah, tengkorak je lah yang ketinggal kan dekat dalam apa tu tanah instead of our body and stuff, so maybe could be lah. So I guess there's a lot of chapters. I just cerita tentang tengkorak ni sahaja dah berapa lama. So I'm expecting to share more. This is actually 106 pages punya book. So don't expect me I can finish it on like one night. It's impossible. Banyak gila. And then plus it's really kind of science term. And I doesn't really go through details lah macam even single thing. Even the terms itself pun I pun macam tak tahu lagi. I just referring also, but the point is it's interesting how this kind of scientist thing yang benda ni actually exists, which we exist from these primates. Can you believe it? Just that dalam certain chapters they also says kenapa kita tak berbulu and dorang berbulu. Okay, that's the thing that we call as sekejap I tak ingat, I kena refer kejap. I believe I've seen it somewhere and then it's just gone. The term is so small, like I couldn't see it. It's gone. Oh, it's here. It's called neoteny. Neoteny. Neoteny ialah tempoh di mana dipanggil sebagai remaining yang kekal muda. So kita ni, diorang anggap kita ni kekal muda lah, takkan ada tumbuh bulu. So kita macam baby, tak ada bulu. Bagi diorang kalau bulu tu ialah dalam tempoh yang matang. Kalau kita ni tak, so kita ni ialah kita ada proses, human ni lain, dia akan ada proses lain di mana dia call as neoteny. So dari baby sampai ke tua kita macam ni, tak ada bulu berlebihan. So kalau ada bulu berlebihan tu means you macam gila babi lah, macam I'm so sorry. So it's like kalau you berbulu sangat-sangat tu bagi diorang, okay, in the terms of things, then it can be considered lah macam you dah matured lah macam tu. But if not, macam kita kekal macam ni dan ni, I don't know. That term is a biological terms. It's actually, kalau you nak tahu, just Google it. I don't need to tell, you can just Google it. But I just bagi you situasi je lah. I think that's much faham kot. Tak payah kot nak cakap term semua, korang pun tak nak dengar semua kan. I think I can share with you guys about this part. Okay. This is the thing yang kind of like sangat macam yang diorang maksudkan. Kalau kita kekal tak ada bulu, right? So like diorang ada bulu. This is a baby primates. So like see, this is dia punya head lah. And you can see they start to develop dia punya fur. So that's the difference between apes dengan kita. Setelah kita lain. Okay? And then banyak lagi gambar-gambar yang I want to share with you guys. I think I'm just gonna put it and edit it in here so that I tak perlu nak tunjuk macam tu. Kind of annoying. So annoying. So. And then the most interesting part is if I read through more, dia cerita details about how our brain functionalities to adapt it jadi macam sangat intelligence. As primate kan sangat-sangat, dia orang tak ada akal. Tu je lah, tak nak kata dia orang ni tak bijak ke, bingung ke, bukan. Because we believe there's a God and God created that they don't have a thing to think. It's just akal. So that's the thing as between them. So the most interesting part dalam sini, which is I have a go through and I would like to share with you guys, is actually how this thing adapted in terms of input dia punya organ macam brain semua. Of course daripada segi hidung, makan, mata sama, so I tak nak cerita sangat lah, it's just the same. And the behavior is also kind of same, just that the thing is dia punya akal, dia tak ada akal dan kita ada akal. So I don't know how they're telling us in here how this kind of primate adapted become human mankind. Macam mana diorang dapat akal tiba-tiba. That part I tak baca lagi, but it was all stated in here. Kalau cerebrum and stuff, which is more to our otak lah. Situ ada cerita lah, which is I will go through and will tell you guys. Dalam tempoh PKP ni dah banyak gila masa, and I can read it of course. Kita kena menambah ilmu ya dalam tempoh macam ni. So that's the thing lah. I will continue more, I guess. If you guys are interested, please say you guys want to know. Kalau tak, I will stop because I kind of feel like I'm annoying. I feel like I'm annoying. Rasa annoying gila cakap macam ni. I don't know. I hope you guys not really annoyed and faham apa yang cakap, at least slightly faham, because this is the time I nak luangkan masa I untuk menambah ilmu and to share with you guys. I'm not menambah ilmu untuk ambil exam ke untuk diri sendiri, but I just read to share. And if it kind of interests, you guys can tell me like, oh, I want to know more. Tak payah macam, oh my god, I'm obsessed with the way how you talk, so itu sangat-sangat tipu. Just says that macam I just continue, just something like that, and I will trying to do more about it. But first I need to read it, of course. Nak baca pun kind of like, I have a lot. I kind of baca like 10 pages above, but when I stop, it just like a few of it. So benda tu pun takes time because I banyak merapu dan bagi tahu content dalam perempuan. So I think that's all for me. Thank you for spending your time. I don't really look my eyes into the camera. I actually look my face. So I tak boleh nak tengok camera like macam ni. It's so awkward. I tengok benda hitam tu. I don't focus. But for the end of this video, I will look at you guys. Jangan tertarik pula. So I will let you guys know if I will do more, and of course I need to read it first. So thank you for giving your time to for my session and look at for my videos. Yang sangat lame ni. Alright, see you. Yes, this is the time I nak luangkan masa I untuk menambah ilmu and to share with you guys. I'm not menambah ilmu untuk ambil exam ke untuk diri sendiri, but I just read to share. And if it kind of interests, you guys can tell me like, oh, I want to know more. Tak payah macam, oh my god, I'm obsessed with the way how you talk, so itu sangat-sangat tipu. Just says that macam I just continue, just something like that, and I will trying to do more about it. But first I need to read it, of course. Nak baca pun kind of like, I have a lot. I kind of baca like 10 pages above, but when I stop, it just like a few of it. So benda tu pun takes time because I banyak merapu dan bagi tahu content dalam perempuan. So I think that's all for me. Thank you for spending your time. I don't really look my eyes into the camera. I actually look my face. So I tak boleh nak tengok camera like macam ni. It's so awkward. I tengok benda hitam tu. I don't focus. But for the end of this video, I will look at you guys. Jangan tertarik pula. So I will let you guys know if I will do more, and of course I need to read it first. So thank you for giving your time to for my session and look at for my videos. Yang sangat lame ni. Alright, see you.